Good evening. Scotland is now under a water scarcity alert as temperatures soar across the country and river levels fall. There are urgent calls from SEPA, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency, to reduce water usage as concerns grow that without rainfall there could be a real water shortage by the end of this month.
Despite a downpour passing over Glasgow at the moment, SEPA say that even with more rain expected the next few days, it won't be enough to improve things. And they're warning that low water levels in rivers risk a severe, long-lasting ecological impact. Well, over to our climate reporter, Caroline Lewis.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the heat wave that we were all enjoying is well and truly over. Now, people at home might be wondering why I'm talking about water scarcity when it's absolutely heaving down behind me, and that's because unfortunately this rain has come after a very dry spring and a dry winter, which has led to low river levels. Now, at the moment, the whole of central Scotland is judged as at moderate risk of water scarcity, but if the river levels stay low for more than 30 days, that will be escalated to severe, and according to SEPA, in some parts of the country, that date could be as early as next week.
They say make hay while the sun shines. But what happens when that sunshine goes on too long?
It's a long time since we've had dry summers. I mean, people of my age often look back to 1976. We've not had those dry years for such a long time. But we're perhaps just going to have to just be prepared and adapt. If this is the way it's going to be, it's fantastic for sitting out on lazy days, but farmers are often working and they need rain to produce good crops.
The dry ground is a product of months of below average rainfall and months more to come.
We're all going to have to look at the way we conserve water, the way we put the water within irrigation, and look at farm reservoirs. Other farmers are perhaps that are grazing grass, beef and sheep are going to have to look at different varieties of grass and different types of plants that can go deep rooted.
Central Scotland is continuing to experience very low river levels. And today, SEPA increased its level of concern about the rivers Clyde, Leven or Annative to moderate, as recent hot weather has led to rapid drying of ground conditions. And this weekend's rainfall is expected to do little to alleviate the problem.
We're going to need a sustained period of above average rain in order to recover the damage that's been happening over the last few weeks. The Met Office has forecast dry weather across Scotland. By the end of June, we're predicting that around a third of Scotland will be in significant water scarcity.
But this is not the first time Scotland has experienced water scarcity. Last year, extraction bans were enforced and farmers saw crops decimated. And more recently, wildfires have destroyed parts of the country. Researchers say Scotland must take a new and multi-hazard approach.
This is part of what we're starting to see with climate change, is more extreme events impacting areas that perhaps they haven't otherwise. I would say probably not. Climate resilience, or adapting to climate change and building in resilience to our systems, it's often spoken about, and there are many activities and operations underway to do so, but I don't think we're keeping pace with the changing climate around us.
The arid conditions are expected to continue and dominate into late June and early July, but the impacts will be felt much further into the future.
Now, despite the fact I'm being battered by torrential rain at the moment, SEPA has stressed this doesn't change anything and the current situation is deteriorating very quickly. Now, they've urged businesses that use lots of water, such as golf courses and farms, to really think about the amount of water they're using, check equipment and put in water-saving measures if they can. But that really is just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, because this is down to climate change, and things like wildfires and the droughts really indicate from scientists that climate change might be happening quicker than we thought. We heard from Dr. Chris White then, and he says this is the new normal, and we've really got to prepare for these extreme weathers for when this inevitably happens again.
OK, Caroline, in Glasgow, thanks for that.